Trial version.
It's Friday. It is 8 p.m. PST, and that must mean that this is Merlo's Movie Massacre number 16, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful Friday night. I know I used to do these shows more on Tuesdays, but I'm going to be doing them on Fridays for the next while anyways. We'll see how long that goes, but it always depends. But at least the next couple weeks, 2 or 3 weeks, probably going to be doing the show Fridays at 8 p.m. Pacific. So just beware. Just beware. There won't be any Tuesday shows for now. Pretty soon I'm going to start posting other videos and stuff on the channel, though. And it'll be interesting. I just got a few big things coming up here. I just got to get through some of that. And then there'll be some other interesting content that you can view on my channel, but please make sure you hit that like and subscribe button down there somewhere down here. I think is it down here? I don't know. You know what I'm saying, right? If anybody's in the chat, say hi or not, whatever. Just say hi in the chat if you are there. We get to say hi. You know, just make sure everybody's having a wonderful Friday evening. I know I am. I got me a nice hot cup of tea tonight. It's a little chilly. It's a little chilly tonight, so you know what? I thought I'm going to have some tea with some honey in it. Good for the throat.
Trial version.
Why not? It's actually the weather here in Western Canada has actually been not too bad. It's actually been a pretty mild January. Usually our Januaries are just terrible. Terribly cold. Well, not like terribly cold, but cold.
Trial version.
You know. But this January is not too bad. So far. So there you go. I want to give another plug to Michelle over at Breathless Beauties. Based out of Syracuse. Can't speak today. Syracuse, New York. If you haven't seen this stuff yet, she makes these awesome horror-themed dolls, which are pretty awesome, I think.
Trial version.
Just me. I think that. I don't know. She makes awesome stuff. The Crow one's pretty cool, actually. If you're a fan of the Crow, you should love that.
Trial version.
And, of course, I love me some Leatherface.
Trial version.
So there you go. Do say hi in the chat if you're in the chat. I'm not sure if you usually have chatters by now. Hopefully the chat is running okay. Because it did say that the chat had disconnected earlier. But it says it's successfully connected. Hey, Marianka's on, so I guess it is working. Hi, Marianka. How are you doing? Good to have you back in our little chat here. Tonight I'm going to be ranking my favorite horror film endings. Horror and thriller films. So it's not just... it falls in the horror category. It counts, right? Sort of. There's something scary about it. I mean, I'm not gonna go too out of the horror realm, but it's gonna be like they're gonna be thrillers in there, stuff that's got enough horror elements to it. But but like I said last week, if you weren't on last week's show, Marianne, I don't think you were. I'm gonna keep this show horror themed from now on. I am. So this will be a horror themed show. Good to hear you doing good there, Marianka. But going outside of horror, I'll have other stuff that I do. I'm gonna try. I want to do more live stuff, but again, it's just if I pre-record stuff, it's a little bit easier. I'm just not a big fan of doing pre-recorded stuff. I like to be interactive. So there you go. Just saying.
Trial version.
But yes, that is the topic for today. Just to let you guys know that our second campaign is also coming soon. About a little over a month and a half away. Taking pre-orders right now for them for the campaign. So if you want to pre-order a perk that you saw in the last campaign, just send me a message. And I will make sure it gets reserved for you. Certain perks you won't have to reserve. Obviously, anything that we have unlimited amounts of, like the digital download and the screen credit, we can do as many of those as possible. But a lot of other stuff we have lots of T-shirts and the Blu-rays. Even Blu-rays were very, very popular from the last campaign, but we can do a lot of those. So it's just if you're wanting to get something like the extra perk, if you want to be in the film, those are kind of going now. I've been taking some pre-orders on those, and of course the face masks, the screen use ones for sure. Pretty limited. We got 2 of those left though. So yeah, just give me a message. Let me know if you want one. There you go.
Trial version.
Is anybody else in the chat? Usually we have more chatters by this time. I'm like wondering where is everybody tonight? Hopefully they all didn't. Hopefully they all went out partying tonight. It is Friday night, so you never know. But if you are watching, please do say hi. We like to, say hi to everybody. So yeah. But it's good to have Marianne in the chat. If I have one person in the chat, I'm all good. So again, we're specifically going to be talking about endings for films tonight. These are just it's going to be my personal rankings. So you guys can make yours. If Marianne can make your rankings for best endings in horror and thriller genres, and just feel free to share them. It's cool to share this stuff back and forth. Anyways.
Trial version.
Without further ado, we'll get into it.
Trial version.
So wonderful, isn't it? Well, I should also mention, I don't know if I should mention because I don't want to jinx it, but I am cooking up something kind of special here. Don't want to spoil anything because I'm not 100% sure that things are going to explode for me or not with this, but we'll see. We'll see. You just never know. But I could be announcing something on the show next week. I could be. We'll see. I might not be. I might be.
Trial version.
We'll see how things turn out. Anyways, okay.
Trial version.
I'm going to start this list with a couple of honorable mentions just because, if I'm being honest, these honorable mentions I'm mentioning are not my favorite films. Neither of them are, both of them are kind of films that I'm like, it was okay. It was okay. But the endings were really, really good. So I thought I'd at least put them in as honorable mentions. So let's get straight to it. The first one is M. Night Shyamalama Ding Dong, whatever you want to call that guy, his movie, The Sixth Sense. So again, I'll admit
Trial
I
version.
was. This is an image from the ending, by the way.
Trial version.
Mary Anka says she loves surprises. There you go. Yes. Well, let's hope it could be a surprise for me too. I'm not gonna spoil anything because
Trial
I won't
version.
share it. Don't worry, I won't share it yet. Jeez, I'm surprised we have nobody else in the
Trial
chat.
version.
Is everybody having trouble chatting tonight or something? How many people does it say we have on
Trial version.
tonight here? It says we got 3 viewers, so yet only Marianka's chatting.
Trial
Usually I get
version.
more of you guys chatting. What gives, guys? That's all good.
Trial
I'm sure
version.
more people will come in as we go along. I hope so. Anyways, we usually
Trial
do.
version.
I don't think I've ever had just one chatter before. No, I
Trial
know I
version.
haven't. So that would be kind of weird. Usually, and especially for ranking videos, when I do ranking videos.
Trial version.
Anyways, going on to talking about The Sixth Sense a little bit.
Trial
I'll be honest, guys. I haven't seen this movie since it came out. Because
Trial
really
version.
the ending was the only thing that got me. So it's one of those movies
Trial
that
version.
it was kind of a boring experience
Trial
for
version.
for me to watch the whole movie. Now I know this movie has its fans, and the kid
Trial
was
version.
good in that movie. I can't remember the kid's name. Sorry, Bruce Willis was good. It's just it was
Trial
a
version.
slow burn, and I like slow burns usually if it can keep me interested in what's going on. But
Trial version.
I don't know. I was kind of losing interest, so maybe I need to watch it again, and maybe I'll have more
Trial
of a an interest in the film. Because, I mean, I was 19 when I last saw it. Because I saw it in the theaters when it came out. And, yeah, I mean,
Trial
but
version.
the ending was like, whoa, okay, so he's dead too. Anyways,
Trial version.
just my thoughts on that. Let me know yours.
Trial version.
What did you think of the Sixth Sense of as a movie?
Trial version.
I think my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie would have to be Unbreakable.
Trial version.
Yeah, I really like that movie, and that's also Bruce Willis. Not too long after I think it was
Trial
after.
version.
Signs wasn't bad either. I kind of like that. But a lot of his
Trial
other stuff is
version.
kind of. You're always expecting a big twist now. It's always about the
Trial
twist,
version.
and some of them just I don't know, they lose me. Some of them do, anyways.
Trial version.
Not all of them. So, anyways, I'll move on to my second honorable mention. Just a
Trial
couple of
version.
honorable mentions here, because again, don't love these movies, but they do
Trial
have
version.
great endings, and that's definitely fits in the horror realm. Sleepaway Camp.
Trial version.
So I'm sure anybody that's seen this movie knows what I'm talking about here. This was a surprise,
version.
obviously. This ending, but definitely
version.
kind of weird at the same time. I don't know, but again, overall, as a movie, it didn't really grab me a lot. Hey, we got a new chatter. Nick Cooling's in the chat. Hey, man, how you doing? Sixth Sense is your fave M. Night movie. Oh, there you go.
Trial
I have to rewatch it, Nick. It's been a long time. It's been like more than 20 years, I think now.
Trial version.
I hate to admit it. And I kind of here's a funny story too. I got a little bit bitter about that movie too after Blockbuster tried to charge me for renting that movie, which I never did. It was very, very odd. All of a sudden, I kept getting calls from Blockbuster Video saying, "You still have to return The Sixth Sense." I'm like, I never rented this movie before, so I kind of it always kind of left a bad taste in my mouth after that. Haven't really had a huge desire to go back and see the film, but one of these days I probably will. But anyways, Sleepaway Camp. I don't really have a lot to say about Sleepaway Camp, but it was kind of a shocking ending. You guys know what I'm talking about. I didn't share the full image there. If you guys know what I'm talking about. But glad you're in the chat there, Nick. And you guys make your top 10 lists while I'm sharing mine of favorite endings, favorite horror / thriller endings, because that's what we're doing. I would say the Sixth Sense. I can't speak tonight.
Trial version.
That movie, I would say that movie fits more as a
Trial
thriller,
version.
not so much a horror. I feel, but it could be both.
Trial version.
I guess. M. Night Shyamalan is kind of a horror thriller guy. Leans more
version.
in the thriller way of things, but I guess it's all subgenre of horror.
Trial
There's
version.
always some sort of horror elements to it. Anyway, so
version.
without further ado, I shall break into my top 10 now.
Trial version.
So yeah, you guys make your top
Trial
10. I want to
version.
know what they are. I do. How many people we got in here now?
Trial version.
Okay, so now we got 4 viewers apparently.
Trial
We got
version.
2 chatters. I'm good with it. Whatever. If you guys want to chat, you guys can, or you
Trial
just
version.
some of you. I know I do have a few viewers that just like to watch, but I like to chat with you guys. You know,
Trial
I'm just that
version.
kind of guy. I like to know what you guys are thinking. That's all.
Trial version.
Ooh, Nick Cooling says The Mist makes his list for endings. There you go. Hey, Joe's in the. There we go. Joe's in the chat now. There you go, Steve. Hey Steve, I put
Trial version.
up Black Christmas as my pick for number 1. There you go.
Trial version.
Maybe you'll see Black Christmas on my list. Maybe. But it's definitely not at
Trial
number
version.
10. So we'll get into that now. Number 10, I chose Saw.
Trial version.
I like this movie. It was one of my favorite. It's definitely one of my
Trial
favorites
version.
from that time period of the 2000s, that decade. That and The Human Centipede were
Trial version.
pretty much the only movies I really liked from that decade.
Trial version.
That I really liked anyways. There's a couple of others I was like, okay, it's not bad. But this
Trial
ending was a pretty I wasn't expecting it. I just in the theater
Trial version.
I was not expecting it. So it did catch me by surprise, and I thought it was
Trial
really
version.
cool. I thought it was a really cool ending that this dead guy, or
Trial
guy that we
version.
thought was dead the whole time, was actually the mastermind the whole
Trial
time.
version.
Joe says, good to see you. Made it early
version.
this time. Well, you're a little bit late. That's all good, man. I'm just glad you're here. Yeah, I love
version.
Saw. Nick Cooling says Saw is awesome. Yeah, I love it. It's probably the only film in the franchise that I
version.
like, though. I haven't seen all of them, though, either. I'm going to be honest, guys. I was just
Trial
kind of getting
version.
bored with them after a while. It kind of felt a little bit redundant. So I kind of stopped watching them
version.
after a certain point. Maybe one of the later sequels is really cool, and let me know in the chat if one of them
Trial
is. Yeah, because I might want to go see it. Nick Cooling says The Descent
Trial version.
unrated ending is great and came out that decade too. You know, I haven't seen The
Trial
Descent,
version.
so maybe I should actually check that one out. I think it's on Netflix too. I haven't got around to.
Trial
There's a
version.
lot of movies I haven't got around to. I keep hearing people saying check out Midsommar.
Trial version.
I think that was one. Yeah, Midsommar. Not sure what that's about. It looks
Trial
interesting,
version.
but I just haven't got around to it. I will. I tried to get my wife to
Trial
watch it with
version.
me actually one night. She's like, "This is over 2 hours long," and I was like, "Oh." So we
Trial
didn't. We
version.
ended up not watching it because it was too long for her. But I will watch it eventually.
Trial version.
I might even get my wife to watch it with me, who's not a big horror
Trial
movie
version.
person either. Just so you guys know. So, anyways,
Trial version.
yeah, that was Saw. It was great. It was a good overall movie, but yeah, that ending is
Trial version.
great. I love an ending like that where it's something you didn't quite expect to happen. So that's
Trial
why
version.
it's at number 10. So it's not super high, but honestly, guys, any of these movies
Trial
that make
version.
my top 10 pretty awesome in my opinion. Pretty awesome endings
Trial
at least,
version.
anyways. So moving on to number 9, The Thing.
Trial
John
version.
Carpenter's The Thing, that is, so the remake, I guess, from 1982. Love this ending. Ambiguity, folks. I am a sucker for ambiguity. Was Childs the
Trial
creature?
version.
You know what? It's like you don't know. You want to know, kind of, but it's like you have to
Trial
make
version.
it up in your own mind. What happens after that? You know, it's
Trial version.
it's awesome. I love that kind of stuff. I know that kind of thing is not for everybody, and it
Trial
probably
version.
wasn't for the audience at the time because a lot of people didn't like it.
Trial version.
Whatever. It didn't do too well at the time. John Carpenter was a little bit ahead of his time when it
Trial
came to his
version.
films, I think. So it was pretty underappreciated when it came out, but obviously
Trial
now
version.
people really love the film, including me.
Trial version.
What are people saying here? Earlier than earlier than last time, Joe says. That's
Trial
great.
version.
That's a great one, man. Didn't see that ending coming. I don't know if you're talking, Joe. I'm not sure if you're talking about Saw or if you're talking about The Thing, but either or, didn't see it come. I didn't see it coming for either of them. Love it though. I love. There's a few of these endings are very ambiguous,
Trial version.
and some of them are twists. I do like a good twist from time to time.
Trial version.
If it feels right, a twist has to be done right. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Trial version.
The twist has to be, it has to feel like it's not forced, you know?
Trial version.
It's not a twist for the sake of having a twist, you know? It has to feel like
Trial version.
it really works well with the story. And yeah,
Trial
that's
version.
just my opinion, though. I think that's why sometimes M. Night Shyamalan movies
Trial
don't
version.
work for me, because it feels like the twist was kind of forced. Good example for me would be
Trial
the end of
version.
Split. It was Split, right? Yeah, the split personality guy where Bruce Willis just shows up
Trial version.
at the end and saves, and connects it to
version.
Unbreakable just by showing up. Mr. Glass saying Mr. Glass.
Trial version.
It didn't feel like it.
Trial version.
It worked with the movie, in my opinion. And I know they made like a. What did they call the new one? Is called Glass. I still haven't seen it, and I'm not saying that the new one isn't good. It could be
Trial
great
version.
because I love Unbreakable, guys. That's my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. And
Trial version.
when somebody told me Split is connected to Unbreakable, I was like, oh, I gotta see how this gets
Trial
tied
version.
together. And I'm watching the movie. It really felt forced. It felt
Trial
like,
version.
well, let's just do this and people will think it's cool. That it felt like one of those kind of
Trial
moments.
version.
To me, it did, because I didn't see a real connection. There was
Trial
no real
version.
connection. It's like, let's connect it because we can. You know what I'm saying? Does that make any
Trial
sense to you
version.
guys? I don't know. I will try not to ramble about this too much, but it was a little bit of a disappointment for
Trial
me, from somebody who really loved Unbreakable, to see that this is how M. Night Shyamalan is
version.
going to connect this movie Split to Unbreakable. It was just in
Trial version.
some dialogue at the end, it didn't really make
Trial
sense.
version.
I was hoping for a bigger connection than that. I was hoping for something that felt more natural than that.
Trial version.
But anyways, that's just my opinion, folks.
Trial version.
It's we all got them.
Trial version.
Joe said something here. Yeah, I'll go with both. Yeah, both endings. The Child's was a
version.
thing, man. Look it up. A lot of theories out there to
Trial
back it
version.
up. Yeah, I don't know. Hey, theories are just that, though, Joe. They're theories.
Trial version.
Also, I'll throw Oculus in the ring.
Trial
If you
version.
haven't seen it, it's awesome. I have not seen that one as well.
Trial
Yeah.
version.
Have to check that one out for sure. There's so many movies I got
Trial
to check
version.
out. It's tough for me now because I'm married. I have a kid.
Trial version.
And we don't get to watch as many movies as I'd like to. At least not
version.
as many horror movies as I would like to. Because my wife's not too into them.
Trial
And
version.
I can't show them to my kid.
Trial version.
In fact, I did a little bit, and and now she's like obsessed. But thing is, she's
Trial
not scared of them when she's watching. She's really into them. But then,
Trial version.
but then she'll have nightmares still. I show her like little clips from like Halloween fan films. I'm
Trial
like, that's
version.
the boogeyman, and she's like, "Ooh, the boogeyman, scary."
Trial
And she'll
version.
like totally beg me to show her, let her keep watching, but then she'll have a nightmare after.
Trial
She's only
version.
3, folks. Gonna be 4 this year, but still.
Trial version.
Good tea. Nice house.
Trial version.
Sorry, I'm nerding out here. That was from Star Trek The Next Generation, folks.
Trial version.
Any Star Trek The Next Generation fans out there? Oh, man. I don't know what made me do
Trial
that,
version.
but I just did. Okay.
Trial
Where
version.
are we here? I think we're at number 8 or something now. Number 8 on my list,
Trial version.
I think. Yes, number 8. The Blair Witch Project. Hey,
Trial
there's
version.
Josh from Camp Blood Media. What's up, everyone? He says, hey, how you doing? I'm at
Trial
number
version.
8 in my rankings. So to recap, number 10 was Saw. Number 9 was The Thing.
Trial version.
And number 8 is The Blair Witch Project. These are my favorite endings. That's why
Trial
all these
version.
snapshots you're seeing are from the end of the film. In case you didn't know. I'm sure you did,
Trial
though.
version.
So, Josh, you share your top 10 favorite horror film endings as
version.
well. You have to. You have to, because I said. You don't have to.
Trial version.
It'd be fun, though, if you did. Because I know we're all going to be different.
Trial
All of
version.
our lists are, none of our lists are all going to be the same, and that's fine. I love it though. I love to see what
Trial version.
what people have. I'm getting some suggestions here from movies I haven't seen yet. I gotta get on some of these films.
Trial version.
Gotta get on The Descent. Gotta get on Oculus now.
Trial
Thanks for the
version.
suggestions, though, guys, Nick and Joe. Thank you.
Trial version.
Blair Witch plays best on
Trial
VHS.
version.
I'll watch it anyway, but you are right. You know what? I owned that movie on
Trial
VHS
version.
many years. I probably still do. I have all my VHS up in the attic. Haven't
Trial
hooked up.
version.
I even still have my VHS player. Does it still work? I don't know. I hope so.
Trial
I hope it
version.
does. Because I'd actually like to look at it, some of that VHS one of these days.
Trial
I actually
version.
wasn't a big DVD guy. Mostly because, when I got my DVD player and then
Trial
started
version.
getting DVDs, the DVDs would scratch too easy, and you
Trial
it'd skip
version.
through whatever you're watching, and it's a pain in the arse. I never had that problem with
Trial version.
VHS, that's for sure. Anyways, what was I talking about? Yeah, the Blair Witch Project. Now, a lot of people didn't like that ending. It's a subjective thing.
Trial version.
They thought, oh, what a rip. We never saw the witch. We never saw it. Nothing happened there at the end. Yeah, well, you kind of
Trial
did.
version.
I remember being in the theater with my friends, and one of my friends was so pissed at that
Trial
ending.
version.
Hey, Filthy Dan is. Can't stay long. Steve just wanted to say hi.
Trial
Hey,
version.
that's all good, man. And for myself and Miss Shannon, you have a good night,
Trial
buddy.
version.
I'll try to pop back in if I can. Well, you do if you can, but thank you for dropping
Trial
in and
version.
saying hi, sir. Always happy to have people just drop by and say hi. And remember to hit that like and
version.
subscribe button too, though. Don't forget that. If you want to. You don't have to.
Trial version.
But anyways, yeah, I think a lot of people didn't get the ending
Trial
at first,
version.
why he was standing in the corner and all that stuff. I remember somebody in the
Trial version.
theater said, "What is he doing? Taking a piss?" And yeah, I get it.
Trial
Hey, Mandy Cantone is in the chat now too. Thank you for coming on in there, Mandy.
Trial
We are
version.
talking I'm ranking my top 10 favorite horror thriller themed
version.
endings. I love a good ending. You guys all share your endings if you want. Your
Trial
favorites, that is. You can rank them if you want. You can just share a couple that you really like. I'm sharing mine.
Trial
You guys can
version.
share yours. It's interactive, all that stuff. And right now we're talking about the Blair Witch Project,
Trial
which was
version.
at number 7 or 8. I can't remember. Number 8. I have to go through my
Trial
list.
version.
I'm not the most organized guy, everybody. But
Trial version.
I have fun doing it, so my wife sure gives me heck for not being organized, though, I'll tell you that much. It's all good, though. It's all good.
Trial version.
So anyways, that's all I really have to say about that
Trial
ending, I
version.
think. Other than, I guess, the atmosphere of that ending. That house,
version.
guys. Oh. I'm not going to lie. The house at the end of that
Trial
film
version.
is a huge inspiration for me with the house that we want in the Sawyer Massacre. The house
Trial
that we
version.
want Leatherface to be living in. Because it's not the same. It's
Trial
not the
version.
same Sawyer house in our film. We wanted something older, even older and more run down.
Trial version.
From Grandpa's old days sort of thing, back in the 1800s kind of
Trial
thing.
version.
So that's why. Anyways. Hey, that's very nice of you, Dan, to do that. You didn't have to
Trial
do
version.
that, but thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Trial version.
Very nice, guys. Check out the Stream Demons, guys, if you guys can. Filthy Dan is part of the Stream
Trial
Demons,
version.
along with Jason Knight, Chris Snyder, forgetting people, Destiny Faulkner,
version.
and Matt Facci. Facci or Facci? I always forget whether it's like
Trial
a hard
version.
A or not. I think it is a hard A, isn't it? Facci. It's kind of like Chris Snyder couldn't get my last
Trial
name
version.
right. But that's because I mispronounce it too. I always say it's Merlo, but it's actually Merlo.
Trial
Yeah,
version.
the show is actually called Merlo's Movie Massacre. It's weird. European stuff, guys.
Trial version.
European pronunciations are weird. It is, my name is Italian. I think Matt's last name sounds pretty
Trial
Italian as well. Facci. Sounds pretty Italian. Ask Matt for me if you can, Dan. I think he's Italian, but my name is Italian, Merlo. It's a type of bird or something in
Trial version.
Italy. I don't know. Well, thanks again for doing that, Dan. You
Trial version.
didn't have to. I really appreciate it. But we all support each other. We
Trial
do. Camp Blood Media too, another great channel. That's Josh. So when you hear me
Trial
say
version.
Josh, that's Camp Blood Media. Just so you guys know. I'm sure you guys figured that out because whatever.
Trial
He's been on
version.
the show quite a few times. Joe is Fangoria Faithful. Mandy Cantone is
Trial
Mandy
version.
Cantone. Yeah. Yeah, I think you figured that out, eh?
Trial version.
Anyways, I ramble a little bit, guys. Sorry. That's why I never
Trial
end up
version.
finishing a show after 1 hour, usually. Usually, except for that trailer reaction I did.
Trial version.
Usually I go about an hour and 15 minutes. I don't care, though. If you guys don't care, I don't care.
Trial
I'll
version.
go on a little bit longer. If you guys don't mind hearing me ramble, you're like, Steve, just get to your next one.
Trial version.
Maybe some of you are like, Maddie's. I
Trial
know.
version.
I'm a weird old man, aren't I? Anyways.
Trial version.
You, Matt, and myself, all three Italian. Oh, okay, there you
Trial
go.
version.
I didn't know that you were Italian there, Dan. What's your last name again?
Trial
I know
version.
you as Filthy Dan, so I guess that's but I know I've heard your last name before. I just off
Trial
the top of
version.
my head, I'm not remembering it. Whatever. I'm old. I forget things.
Trial version.
Anyways, I gotta move on here. But yes, the house at the end of the Blair Witch Project is probably
Trial
my
version.
biggest inspiration for the house I'm trying to find for our movie, The Sawyer
Trial
Massacre. And as
version.
soon as I find that house, I'm like searching all through Texas to find a similar
Trial
house to
version.
that, basically. As soon as I find it, I'm going to be posting lots of Instagram photos of it,
Trial version.
if I can. If I can get somebody to take pictures of it. Yeah,
Trial
Cantone.
version.
Yeah, that sounds pretty Italian too. Are you Italian then too, Maddie?
Trial version.
You must be part Italian if you got an Italian last name. Oh, or unless it's your
Trial version.
your husband's name. I wouldn't be surprised if that's it. Hey, God, all the wops we have in here, eh? Joe is half Italian too. I'm actually only half Italian. My mom
Trial
is
version.
English. My dad's Italian. My mom is English. But that's awesome. I'm gonna
version.
guess, Joe, that it was your mom that was Italian, though. because Lawrence doesn't
Trial
sound
version.
very Italian. But I could be wrong.
Trial version.
Holy crap. 8:35 here already, and I'm not
Trial
even on
version.
number 7 or something yet. Okay, so moving on to number 7, guys.
Trial version.
Gotta do it. Oh, yeah, that's right. Cordial. Is it like a cordial?
Trial version.
Is it like that soft L? Probably. Maybe. Or maybe that's Mexican that would do
Trial
that. I don't
version.
know. Ex-husband name. Still German and Italian.
Trial
Oh, there you
version.
go. There you go. So many Italians in here. That's
Trial
awesome.
version.
This will be the Italian club. We'll call that. Gotta move on here. Number 7.
Version.
Number 7. One of the many endings from the Halloween franchise.
Trial
This is
version.
Halloween 4. I love the ending of Halloween 4. Oh my good. It
Trial
just
version.
set up what could have been a great sequel, and we got Halloween 5 instead after that,
Trial version.
unfortunately. But the ending of Halloween 4, holy crap.
Trial version.
The possibilities you could have done after that. That was, I didn't see it coming. Did you see
Trial
it coming?
version.
Did you see it coming? It's again, I wouldn't call it a twist. It's just a surprise
Trial
ending,
version.
I guess you'd call that. Surprise ending. It was good. I wish they would have kept rolling with that for the next one, and
Trial
found,
version.
you still could have had Michael Byers still be your main antagonist, but have,
Trial version.
I don't know. I wouldn't want to get into that because that's like another rant, and I don't want to go on too many rants.
Trial
Halloween
version.
5 is not a good film, unfortunately. Wish it was, but there's
Trial
some good
version.
things about it, but it's too bad.
Trial version.
Somebody is making a fan film though. That's an unofficial sequel to Halloween 4.
Trial
I forget who
version.
that is now. I'm gonna have to. Somebody I met on Instagram too. He's like, I'm gonna make an unofficial sequel to
Trial
Halloween 4.
version.
I said to him, see if you can get Danielle Harris to to be in it.
Trial version.
That's what I would. That would be if I was gonna do that. That'd be the first person I would be
Trial
contacting,
version.
and the girl who played Rachel, Ellie Cornell. I
Trial
would
version.
contact both of them. As Ellie Cornell, the Rachel character needs to be
Trial version.
redeemed after Halloween 5. She needs some redemption. That was bullshit.
Trial version.
Anyways, I'm ranting again. I don't want to rant, but yes, the ending of Halloween
Trial
4
version.
was awesome. And didn't see it coming, and I had to
Trial
put it in
version.
there. It's not the only Halloween film that gets put in my top 10 here, guys, for endings, because I think Halloween's had some great endings.
Trial version.
It has. Anyways. Yeah, then they
Trial
screwed up in Halloween 5. You took the words right out of my mouth, Nick. You really did.
Trial version.
It's too bad. It's really too bad that.
Trial version.
But whatever. You know what? If I'm being honest, though, Halloween's got
version.
4 good solid films for me, anyways, and a lot of the other films in the franchise
Trial
have
version.
their fans as well. But for me, it's only 4 real solid films that I love
Trial
in the
version.
Halloween franchise, but that's more than I can say about any other horror franchise for me
Trial
personally.
version.
Keeping in mind that I'm not a massive big 3, not much of a Jason fan, not much of a Freddy fan, more of a Freddy fan than a Jason fan, but
Trial version.
not huge on the big 3. And I'm known as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy,
version.
but I really only love the original. The original is that's my baby right there, but
Trial version.
don't really like any of the sequels and remakes and whatnot. Sequels,
version.
prequels, remakes. Oh well. Hey, Degree Centigrade made it in. Thank you for tuning in. And we are talking about my favorite
Trial version.
horror/thriller endings, and you should share yours too
Trial
because
version.
it's fun. Yes. Just to recap, we'll recap
Trial
for it because
version.
we got some new people in the chat. My number 10 was Saw. My number 9
Trial
was The
version.
Thing. My number 8 was the Blair Witch Project, and we're just talking about Halloween
Trial
4.
version.
There you go. So that's where we are right now. So now, funny enough,
Trial version.
we're going to go on to number 6, and that's, oddly enough, Halloween.
Trial version.
All right. So I like to show this image particularly here
Trial version.
to just so you guys can understand why Halloween, the beginning of Halloween
Trial
2,
version.
kind of kind of messes with me. I don't
Trial
really
version.
I hate the beginning of Halloween 2. I like Halloween 2 as a whole. I
Trial
like it
version.
as a whole, as a film. It's a decent film in the franchise. However, because of this shot
Trial
and because of
version.
the shot after where he's just gone, when we skip to Halloween 2 and we
Trial
see
version.
that big imprint in the grass and in like a full lawn of grass of where Michael
Trial
fell,
version.
it doesn't, continuity wise, it doesn't make any
Trial
sense.
version.
But they felt the need to put that in there.
Trial
I don't know
version.
why. It's in my opinion, they shouldn't have done that. It started
Trial
the movie
version.
off on the wrong foot for me in Halloween 2. It did get better. The movie itself,
Trial version.
again, I do like Halloween 2. But the ending of Halloween
version.
1 is a great ending. It really is a great ending.
Trial version.
Because you know it kind of sets up a sequel, but at the same
Trial
time it's
version.
like, well, should they set up a sequel? And they did, obviously, but still,
Trial version.
you just got that sense of dread that he's still out there and evil is everywhere, and that the breathing
Trial
got
version.
louder and louder. The shape, his breathing. And that's
version.
another thing I gotta say about Michael Myers, or the Shape, or the Boogeyman, whatever you want to call him. Is
Trial
that was the only
version.
one where you really heard a lot of breathing from him, and there was something really unsettling about his breathing in the original
Trial
Halloween
version.
that I don't think a lot of people talk about. At least I've never heard a lot of. I mean, I
Trial
tune
version.
into a lot of these shows, a lot of these channels, and a lot of people talk about Halloween. I don't
Trial
hear a lot
version.
of people talk about the breathing of Michael Myers in the original, and it was
Trial
wasn't
version.
like non-existent in all the other ones. Which I think is kind of weird. I
Trial
kind of
version.
wonder why they got rid of that. I think it's great. I think the breathing in the original was really well
Trial
done.
version.
It has a really creepy vibe to it. Just my opinion, though.
Trial
You guys
version.
let me know your thoughts on that. But yeah, that's yeah. So Halloween, I have Halloween
version.
right next to Halloween 4. Halloween did do some damn good endings, I gotta say. Some,
Trial version.
unfortunately, again, Halloween 2 though. As much as I do like that movie, not a big fan of that
Trial
ending.
version.
It's okay. It's not a bad ending. It's not, but it didn't get me excited for
Trial
another
version.
one. Unfortunately, but it is what it is. I get it though.
Trial
I get
version.
why it was like, let's just finish this so that we don't have to make another one. John Carpenter was like, let's
Trial
kill this
version.
character off so we don't have to make another one of these films, and we can move on to
Trial
other
version.
Halloween ideas. Anyways, on to the
Trial
next
version.
one. We won't talk about that too much. I don't know. Yeah, just really not a lot. Not
Trial version.
it's just a great ending. It's just the atmosphere. I think more than anything, the reason why Halloween
version.
makes this is the atmosphere. And again, when you're seeing all those clips of the
Trial
different
version.
areas where a lot of terrifying stuff has taken place, the Myers house
Trial
and
version.
the stairwell of the Doyle house and all that stuff. I think it's or the Wallace
Trial
house. I
version.
think the Wallace house I'm thinking of. All that kind of stuff. Those shots, they just
Trial
and the
version.
breathing getting louder as you see them. I think it's really cool. I do.
Trial version.
You guys let me know your thoughts though.
Trial version.
Moving on. Where are we at now? Number 6. Nope, we're on number 5.
Trial
All
version.
right, here we go. Top 5, everybody. Coming in at number 5 is the Texas
version.
Chainsaw Massacre, the original from 1974. Now, you guys are probably saying,
Trial
"Oh my God,
version.
you're a Texas Chainsaw Massacre guy." Oh, sorry, I hit the wrong one there. Blank
Trial
screen. You guys all got the big black screen of death. How could that not be your
Trial
number one?
version.
It's your favorite horror film. It is my favorite horror film.
Trial
And it is a
version.
great ending. I love that ending. It is great. It's in my top 5.
Trial
But geez,
version.
man, some of these other endings I got, I just it's hard to. For me,
Trial
these
version.
these endings in the film, which are a big part of a good film for me as well.
Trial version.
But for me, they're just that much better. I can't
Trial version.
explain it more than that. As much as I love the ending to the Texas
Trial
Chainsaw
version.
Massacre, her screaming all bloody and all that, I got 4 more that I think beat it.
Trial
And
version.
one of them will be a little bit controversial for sure. Maybe 2 of them will be controversial for you guys because, well,
Trial
we'll see.
version.
We'll see what you guys think. Just if you guys want to throw tomatoes at the screen to, I don't
Trial
know,
version.
do a lot of Rotten Tomato emojis or whatever in the chat
Trial
when I
version.
come to some of these. I don't know. I don't know. It's just my opinion though, and
Trial
that's what
version.
it's all about. Where are we at here? Where are we at?
Trial version.
Anything I should say about the ending of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Trial version.
Just that it's really good. It's terrifying. It's
Trial version.
it's very realistic. Her reaction in the back of that truck
Trial version.
just says it all. I mean, she's gone hysterical. She's laughing, but she's
Trial version.
laughing and she's so messed up at this point that
Trial version.
you know, that this is the only way she can express
Trial
it.
version.
You know, she's gone through the biggest nightmare of her life. She'll never be the same.
Trial version.
And I really think that the way she laughed like that at the end said that
Trial version.
so amazingly well. It was a true nightmare that this person went
Trial
through
version.
and lived through it. And like the tagline
Trial
of the film says, even if any of them survive, what will be left? And exactly that. What is life going to
Trial
be
version.
like for Sally after that experience? After watching her brother get
Trial version.
chainsawed in half in front of her and knowing that her other friends are most likely
Trial
had the
version.
same fate type of thing, and seeing all this crazy stuff, and you know it's
version.
terrifying. It's just so realistic,
Trial
so
version.
real. It's I don't know what it's uh-oh, why do I keep
Trial
hearing
version.
trial version? What the heck? I've had issues with OBS. Hopefully, let me
Trial
see if I can
version.
figure out why it's doing that. It might be one of these things.
Trial version.
Sorry about that. Have I been getting this trial version thing all the way through?
Trial version.
I have to turn down certain mics to make sure that that doesn't happen. Let me know if you still hear the trial
Trial
version thing in there. I think I turned it down, but maybe now you
Trial
can't hear
version.
me. Who knows? Let me know.
Trial version.
Well, you gave me that. I just want to know, is it still there? Do you still hear trial version?
Trial version.
Apologies, guys. Any of you guys experts on OBS? I am not.
Trial version.
I'm getting sort of used to OBS, but I'm looking at my levels
Trial
here to
version.
make sure there's no other levels peaking. Check.
Trial version.
Okay. Maybe it was this one. Who's that trial version, bitch man? You can still hear it. I think I got it now. I think I got it now. Sorry guys. I apologize. I'm not a technical guy. I'm not a nerdy technical kind of guy. I don't know if that I think I got it now. Looking at this, I'm not seeing any other things peak. I think so. Okay, she says she thinks it's gone. I think it's gone too. My apologies about that, guys. Has that been on the whole time and nobody said anything? Well, I apologize. You know, you guys are free to tell me if there's issues at the I'm not even sure what that trial version thing is. It just all of a sudden, I guess maybe because I have a free version of OBS. The trial bitch is good. So I'm guessing that was going through the whole show. I'm just gonna guess that it was. But anyways, I apologize. This will be an interesting episode to look back on. Have to hear that trial version stuff. What can I do? What can I do? But as long as it's gone now, hopefully I don't mess anything up. You know, it is what it is. It's a show. it's not. That's how you know that this show is live, folks. Yes, you know it's live because there are mistakes. If this was pre-recorded, that wouldn't happen. So you might be saying, yeah, it's crap, but at least it's live crap, right? I'm getting a lot of laughing faces here from everybody, pretty much. Well, I'm glad that you guys can laugh at me. I don't mind being laughed at. I'm all good with being laughed at. It's actually one of my favorite things ever. Anyways, said enough about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Thank you for pointing that out to me. I'm glad I got rid of it. It is what it is. Let's move on. I can laugh too. I'm going to watch this episode back and be like, wow, that was great. That was so awesome. Moving on. So, what could be better than Texas Chainsaw Massacre ending? How about this one? 7. Ooh. I loved this ending, guys. 7 is it's definitely in my top 20 favorite films of all time. That ending is, oh boy, it definitely it gets me. That ending, just knowing what he did and not seeing what was in the box, but knowing what was in the box, and it never actually fully said, but it is said. It's said, but it's not said. You know, that kind of thing. So it means I guess basically what I'm saying is it's a subtle way of telling that ending, letting the audience know what's in that box without actually seeing it, without knowing for sure what's actually in that box, but knowing. John Doe was quite a character. Kevin Spacey nailed that role for sure. I guess his career is pretty much over now, but for what he did, I guess. I don't know all the details on that, so I don't want to get into that, but he was a pretty awesome actor. Definitely gave you the creeps in that film, for sure. Yeah, love 7. Joe thought it was on his end with the trial version. The trial version. That's funny because I can't hear it in my. I was hearing it before the show, and I went into my settings, and I think I took it out in the monitor, so I couldn't hear it anymore in my ears. But I guess it was still on the. Whatever. So at least I haven't heard it through the whole show, but when I watch back at this episode, I will. That's all good. Anyways, what did you guys think to the ending of 7? Have you seen 7? Maybe you haven't seen 7 because it's from the 90s, and I don't know. Maybe some of you aren't old enough to know it. I don't know. It's a great movie, though. Great movie. If you haven't seen 7, it is great. Morgan Freeman, Brad Pitt, Arlie Ermer's in that as well. And, of course, Kevin Spacey. Great movie. Great movie. That's all I'll say about it, because geez, boy, 7 minutes to 9 o'clock already. All right, so moving on. After 7, number 3. This might be controversial. I know some people... This movie was nominated for Oscars a few years back. I don't think it won much, but I thought it was great. I thought this ending was... As far as endings over the last 10 years go, this was the only ending that truly blew me away from a thriller style film. And that's Nocturnal Animals. Sorry, this picture's not the best quality, but that's a screenshot from the ending of Nocturnal Animals. It's Amy Adams there. I actually, you know what? I thought Amy Adams was great in that role. A lot of people thought she was very cold and, kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like a monotoned feel to her performance, kind of stiff, I guess. I don't think a lot of people realize that that's who the character was. So when I look at this movie and knowing what she was supposed to be, she was actually really good. I think she actually played it very, very well. Did a great job. And this ending was the end. Why I love the ending for this so much, I guess more than anything, is because it told me everything without having to tell me anything. There's nothing said. It's just her physical acting, and it tells you without saying a damn thing what this whole movie represents. It summed up the whole movie, what it actually represents, because it's a story within a story. If you haven't seen this movie, obviously you guys are going to be kind of like, okay, I don't know. But I've talked to a few people that didn't like this movie because they didn't get it. It has a deeper meaning. There are parallels. I guess that's the best way to put it, is parallels between the two stories. There's two stories going on at the same time, and you're supposed to kind of see how they intertwine together. So a lot of people didn't understand that. They thought, well, what the hell? None of this tied together. Well, it actually did in a subtle way. So you have to. That ending actually is what does it. Is how you actually know how these are tied together. But anyways, if you haven't seen it, you're not going to know. I loved that ending though. It was like, whoa, okay. So this definitely does mean that this is what it represents, basically. It's hard to explain, that's for sure. But essentially, yeah, it told me everything without telling me anything. And I think that's very powerful when you can do that in a movie, when just physical acting and, just the mood of the scene can actually tell you what it is that happened. That's great. That's great. To me, that's great when you have that type of power to do that. That's what I love. Too many movies want to spoon feed it to you, This movie didn't spoon feed it to you, I'll tell you that much. Anyways, anybody saying anything about that movie? Tell me if you haven't seen that movie, that's all good, but Joe says, it was driving me nuts, but I wouldn't let me miss the show. 7 kicks ass. One of the best. Okay, so we're talking about 7 there. I think it was good. It was a good movie. Anyways, yeah. So that's why I put that. I mean, it was, again, it's the only movie I've seen in the last 10 years where the ending really had a massive impact on me. And the movie is good. The movie as a whole, I find pretty good. It is a bit of a slow burn. Michael Shannon gave an awesome performance in that movie as well. Jake Gyllenhaal too. I would say all 3 of those actors gave Oscar-worthy performances, in my opinion. I think Michael Shannon was the only one to get nominated though, and didn't win for an Oscar. That is, whatever. I'm sure he's not too bitter about that, but he probably should have won an Oscar. I don't know. He was great. It was great. So that is my number 3. Not much more I can really say about it, unfortunately, because it's hard to describe. You have to have seen the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you by explaining too much if you haven't seen the movie. But if you have seen Nocturnal Animals and you didn't get the ending, message me and I'll try to explain it to you better. Or I'm sure it probably says it on something like Wikipedia too. It probably gives you a detailed explanation about it. Mind you, Wikipedia is hardly ever right, but no. Well, there's, I don't know. They're usually somewhat right. Anywho. Now really getting into the nitty gritty here. My top 2 here, guys. So, my number 2, maybe a bit of a surprise too, but Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. I love it. Again, ambiguity, folks. Did he get that last channel off? Did he not? We hope he did. Maybe he did. Maybe he didn't. Maybe there's a bunch of dead kids. It makes you feel like he probably didn't, though. And I like that. You probably didn't, but maybe he did. I don't know. I love it. I love it. And I know this is a movie that had to grow on me. I was one of those haters at first too. Doesn't have Michael Myers. I don't want to watch it. You know, when I was young, it grew on me when I got into my 20s, and the more I watched it, the more I watched that ending. I love that ending. I love that the ambiguity of that ending. It's great. It's great. I don't know. Tom Atkins was great there. The only thing that kind of ruins it is like right before the ending, when the girl, forget her name now. We discover she's a robot now too. I wish they didn't do that. I kind of wish they didn't do that, but they did. Whatever. Right before the ending, but then the ending itself though is just killer. Halloween 3 is my favorite horror film. Always has. Hey, there you go. I'm glad to hear some love for that film. I think Halloween fans for sure are very divided on Halloween 3. They either love it or they hate it. Yeah. So don't care if they called it Halloween 3. It was great. Threw me off at first with no Mikey, but still a great one. Yeah. And you know, Halloween 3, and funny enough, Halloween 3 was the first ever horror film I watched from beginning to end when I was pretty young. It was the first ever horror film, but I always knew about Michael Myers. We'd heard about the Halloween franchise ever since Halloween 4 had come out, and we saw TV spots for them. So I always knew about this Michael Myers character, and my big thing was I wanted to see this guy in the flesh. And then one Halloween night after trick-or-treating, Halloween 3 was on. So we watched it, me and my two brothers, and we were like all waiting for Michael Myers to show up, and he didn't. So, I mean, growing up as a kid, we all hated Halloween 3, and then I rewatched it in my 20s. I'm like, oh, it's not that bad of a movie, though. It's actually not that. It's actually kind of good. And it really, really kind of grew on me the more I watched it. I'm like, really like that. I really like that. There's a lot to like in the film. There are some things to not like as well, like that what I just mentioned about was her name Ellie in the movie? God, gotta watch it again. Like her becoming a robot. That's one of my biggest. It's probably is my biggest gripe with Halloween 3. That and maybe early in the film when the robot gets crushed by a car that's coming at him like very, very slowly, and that crushes him, and you see some of the other stuff that doesn't kill these robots. Other than those two things, though, I think it's a pretty solid flick. And there's a couple little flaws like that. I can let them slide when it's a good movie, and Tom Atkins just kicks ass. What a mustache that guy had. Anyways. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that. I love Halloween 3, and I think it should have been called Halloween 3. Actually, if I'm being totally honest, it should have been Halloween 2. They should have never did Halloween 2 the way they did it. And I just feel like if they had actually done Halloween 2 in that anthology style and new stories every time, it would have taken off. I think it would have taken off. But Halloween 2 kind of wrecked that possibility Because when you already have a sequel to that's an actual sequel to it, it's people are expecting it by that point. I don't think people were necessarily expecting it for Halloween 2, but anyways, Halloween 3 technically bombed because of that, in my opinion. And I can only speculate. I think it would have done better if it was technically Halloween 2. I think it would have. I don't know that for sure, but I think it would have. Hard to say for sure. Still think it was a great film. But unfortunately, we'll never see Halloween anthology ideas come to light again. At least I don't think so. You never know. Maybe way in the future, somebody will finally say, well, Michael Myers has been done to death. Let's do other Halloween ideas. Because, you got to remember, the movies are called Halloween, not Michael Myers. Halloween, folks. And I've heard that argument many times. It's a great movie if you don't call it Halloween. Well, why the hell wouldn't you call it Halloween? It takes place around Halloween. It's centered around Halloween. It probably has more to do with Halloween than most of the Halloween films, to be honest. Because really, at the end of the day, a lot of those Halloween sequels are just set on Halloween. They don't really have a lot to do with the holiday itself. And I think that movie gave you more of the holiday. Gave you a theme in Halloween. That's just my thoughts, though. What are your thoughts about that? All right, we're after 9 o'clock, so let's get to our number one pick. Well, probably not too big of a surprise, but I had to go with Black Christmas. This shot of Claire in the bag, and it just kind of zooms back slowly through the window. God, it's chilling. That is just a chilling, creepy shot and ending. Just before, just as that shot comes on, and it sort of the focus pull to the Mrs. Mac, and you hear Billy say, "Agnes, it's me, Billy," and you see him. You can kind of see a shadow going down into the going through the attic door, I guess. You don't actually see him, but you can kind of see him. I think you actually see the attic door opening before it actually cuts to that. You see it open a little bit because there's that big long shot, really good shot right before all this too, by the way, after they pan up from Jess, and it's kind of panning all around the upstairs of the house until it finally gets to the attic. Great shot. Awesome shot. Two great shots to end this movie, I gotta say. Two phenomenal shots to end the film. Yeah, you do see that attic door opening, though, right before it cuts to Claire's face there. And I think that's to me it's so creepy because it's like that he's going to go kill her. At least that's what it's meant to make you think. He's going to go kill Jess. He says his line, "Agnes, it's me, Billy." I love that line. It's still creepy every time you hear it. Yeah, I love it. Guys. That has to be my number one. And that long shot, just panning away or zooming back from the house. I think they did it in a few different shots because it does do some weird transitional cuts. Who knows? It could have been all one shot from a crane or something like that. Still a very good shot. I don't know if it was all a bunch of separate shots, but great shot until Claire's face is still visible, but not maybe more to the naked eye sort of thing if you're really looking. I like that kind of stuff. And then the phone ringing, just that phone ringing getting louder as it goes, as the credits roll. Great ending. So again, it'll be interesting to see what Dave McCrae does with It's Me, Billy. I'm so looking forward to that. Yeah, it's coming up in spring, so very exciting. Very exciting. Can't wait to see what he's going to do. Anyways, that's it. That's my list, guys. So what is your number one ending of all time? Love all these films. Don't love the films in my honorable mentions. They're okay, but the endings were great. So there you go. What do we got here? We got people chatting here. Fucking a Man, my fave of all time. Watching it every Christmas day since I was a kid. Folks had no idea I had a bootleg on VHS, but it was awesome. No idea who Billy is, and they should keep it that way. Yeah, very true. Degree Centigrade says, I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original Friday the 13th, Halloween 1, and Scanners. Ooh, very good. Very good stuff. A couple of those were on my list, as you probably would have saw. I can do a quick recap for everybody before we call it a night. There's a little bit of time left, so I did okay. I did okay for time. It's only 10 after, but honorable mentions. We had The Sixth Sense, and we had Sleepaway Camp, and my number 10 was Saw. My number 9 was The Thing. Number 8 was The Blair Witch Project. Number 7 was Halloween 4. Number 6 was Halloween. Number 5 was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Number 4 is 7. Number 3 is Nocturnal Animals. Number 2 is Halloween 3. And number 1 for me is Black Christmas. Again, those are my selections. I love the endings to all these films. They're not for everybody. Some of them anyways. But those are my favorite endings of horror films. There you go. So maybe next Friday. I'll see you guys all next Friday. Same time, same place. Next Friday, 8 p.m. Pacific on Merlo's Movie Massacre. And then after next week, I should be getting some other content out there apart from this live stream. I will get some stuff out there. I think I'm getting more requests for Star Wars content. So I'm probably going to do some Star Wars content. As you guys can see, I got the poster there. I love me some Star Wars. So, but not on this show. This show is always going to be horror from now on. Horror, thriller themed kind of stuff. For the most part, a lot of Texas Chainsaw Massacre stuff because I am, of course, I'm making a feature-length fan film, so why wouldn't I? Which, by the way, we're going to have another Indiegogo campaign in March. So you guys be ready for that. You guys be ready for that. We might have some cool stuff happening for that campaign. So look out for it. The goal of this campaign is to get the production to Texas. We got about halfway there with our first campaign. So we're only about 15 to 20K short of getting to Texas. So I think we can do it this time, guys. Help us get there. We've got to get this movie made in Texas. Who wants to see a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film made in Canada, right? Do you? I don't. I'm from Canada. I love Canada, but I want to see it in Texas where it belongs. Not Canada, not Bulgaria. Just saying. Nowhere but Texas. Hey, we got a new chatter here at the very end. Kenesha Malone, hey. Sorry, I pronounced your name wrong. Mabone? Kenesha Mabone? Is that how I'm probably butchering your name. And sorry, my computer's a little bit far away from me, so I have to read it from a bit of a distance. I don't have a lot of room in here. Sorry. From Michigan. There you go. Say hello from Michigan. Thank you for joining in at the end. Mind you, at the end, but we're having fun. Thank you for joining in, though. Cheers, everyone. Thanks, Steve. Had a blast. Have a good one. Poster 3 is almost done. So, man, I can't wait to show you. Oh, I can't wait for you to show me too, Joe. And we do have to have another chat, though. I got to discuss some things with you. But I love your work, though. Just remember that. I love your work. I can't wait to see what you're doing next. Nope, I said it right. I did say it right. Mabone? I was like, I'm probably butchering that. Well, that's good to know I said it right. Nice to meet you, Kenesha. Have you been in our chat before? I can never remember who's been in here and who hasn't. Some people are, once in a while, they come in, and others like Joe and and like Josh from Camp Blood Media and all these, and Mandy Cantone. They've been in the chat many times. So, yeah. But thank you for joining the chat regardless. Please do remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Support this channel. Our goal is to get to 1,000 subscribers when we hit our next Indiegogo campaign in March. Well, while we're in that campaign, if we hit it sometime while we're in our next Indiegogo campaign, we're gonna give away a perk from the campaign if we hit 1,000 subscribers. So it'll be all about one of the chats, one of our shows here. A random person in the chat. You have to be in the chat that night. We'll draw for a free perk. Pretty awesome. Anyways, guys, that'll do it for me. Please do hit that like and subscribe button, and please check out some of those other awesome great channels like Camp Blood Media, Jason Nike, Filthy Dan's movie discussion, Matt Facci, Chris Snyder, Destiny Faulkner. All you guys. I'm sure I'm missing lots of people. Did I say Camp Blood Media? There's a lot of. We have an awesome little community, and we love it. We love it. Fandom Empire is another one. Jeez, Nick Cooling. Nick Cooling's got a great channel. He does. You do a lot of metal stuff on your channel too, right, Nick? If you're still in the chat, I'm not sure if he is. But anyways, support those channels too. It's awesome. We'll talk to you soon, guys. Have yourselves a great night.